Hello Cancer, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead. How are you, my watery friends? I hope you're good. Thank you so much for clicking here. I've got these oracles here that we're going to throw down for the overall feel for next week. Next week we are having the Lionsgate portal on Friday the 8th. So that is a special time where there is an alignment of the Earth, the Sirius star system, and Orion's belt. So it is abundant, right? Because we've got the 8-8, and 8s are all about the self, but also about abundance and power and infinity. So meditation is called for, and possibly clearing some old wounds, activating your soul's gifts. Let's talk about what's coming up for you in the week ahead. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Cancer, if you're brand new, I do this reading once a week for the Cancer Collective. Thanks for stopping in here. If you're somebody who's always back, thanks for doing that. If you're an avid watcher, I appreciate your thumbs up. It is growing this tribe. We do need more Cancers in this tribe. Always. Everybody needs a Cancer in their life. All right, let's find out what's going on for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Cancer. Where are we starting? Grounding. Go deep and explore your roots. Well, for me, I always say that Cancer is the Taurus of all of the water signs. Because you definitely are grounded. You do move slow. And for the most part, your movements are usually quite introspective, I would say. So it looks like here you're being asked to explore yourself internally. I think look at the self, explore your roots. Where do you come from? It's like, where have you come from, and that has brought you to here? What has added to you that's brought you to here? We have discovering the truth, so that's really interesting. 2 cards to come up for you. Bottom of the deck for me is always the future energy. So although we are reading for the week ahead, I meant like into August. So discovering the truth, you stand in the light of truth. And it says here, grounding, go deep and explore your roots. I feel like for someone here, you're going to find a truth about something that possibly is buried in your past. And so I don't necessarily mean to say that the past is coming back, but there might be something that you learn about your family history, or learn, like you're like, oh, that's what happened in that relationship. So as you move forward, you won't do those things again. It's about not repeating patterns, and that's why we look into our past. That's why it's important to know the past and what went on back there. We do have chance. We have the dice. I think you're leaving something in the rear view mirror, Cancer. I feel like you're going to leave something in the past and move into the future. Card number 19 is the Sun. And so it's the Sun in Tarot, Major Arcana. And so I feel like you are about to see something you didn't see before. And it's only because you've decided to leave something in the past, rearview mirror, right? That you can see it in the rearview mirror now. And you're going to take a chance on moving forward or something new. But I feel like what you're seeing in the rearview mirror is probably something from the past. We shouldn't always forget what happened in the past, because it is good influence of things we don't want to repeat. It's good. It helps us look at our patterns, right? One more card for Cancer. We have discipline. Very interesting. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So I think this is what's going on here. You're being asked to take a look into the past, at where you worked, your relationships, your friendships, maybe your family members, to see what it is that you do not want to repeat. Look at it in the rearview mirror, leave it there, leave it behind you where it is. Don't bring it into the present moment, Cancer, and take a chance moving forward, because now you have the discipline. And you can't see the cycles you've been in, or the things you've been doing over and over, until you actually notice the pattern. And when you see the pattern and get the discipline, you never have to learn that lesson again, which means you never have to go through that sort of pain again. We do have abundance. So that's what's in the future, I believe. Once you leave something in the rearview mirror, you see something for what it really is. The sun is out. And it does give you happiness and growth. You're like, okay, I've grown from that. So it almost feels like you're looking back there to see how you've grown. Moving into the future here, we've got abundance. Says I'm a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in the physical reality. And so that's part of the Lionsgate portal that's coming up. Manifesting, writing things down in a journal. We've got enlightenment. Look, you're coming to a place of enlightenment here, Cancer. You are learning from the past, therefore you can move forward. It's the only way we can move forward, is when you finally learn the lessons, and I think you are. Cancer, we do have a new deck here at Tanny Cups Tarot. We're moving into a new deck here, Marchetti Tarot. It's really beautiful. The depictions are amazing. I love the illustrations from Sarah Marchetti. So I've been using this deck all week just to get my energy all over it. Let's find out what's going on for you in the tarot. Let's get some details on it for Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Oh yes, and Cancer, at the end of this video, I'm going to be telling you about how to get a private read if you're interested. And also about how to connect with me for the extended if you're interested in that. Tell me about Cancer. All right. Yep, there it is. The world is here. I like that. So when the world shows up, it's about the end of a chapter, the end of a life cycle. We have many life cycles that happen within our lifetimes. Pardon me. And so we have the World card, which I really love because it says go deep and explore your roots. And I feel like although you are exploring your roots, figuring out what went on back there, what patterns did you finally notice so you don't have to go forward again and repeat something. I feel like the World card is here. Full stop. That's it. Full stop. You learned the lesson. You've hit a milestone here, Cancer. You've learned the lesson. You never have to go back there. And now it's time to look at it in the rearview mirror and let it go, it feels like here. We've got the 8 of Swords with discipline. I feel like you've disciplined your overthinking or not taking action because of analysis paralysis. Feels like that. Let's talk about the World first. It took you a long time to get here because the World card is the fixed signs, and the fixed signs move very, very slowly. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. I am a Taurus, so I'm a fixed sign, and I speak from experience that we just want to be sure that we do it the first time right, and that's it. That's why we take so long to get to a certain place. And as I said, I feel like you are the Taurus of the water signs. It feels like it just took you a long time to get to this place here. We do have the 5 of Wands because you had indecision. And if you have indecision, you're not going to move forward. But I also feel like you sort of were hard on yourself or beat yourself up just a little bit because you didn't take action sooner. But listen, you're in the place you're supposed to be at the time you're supposed to be there. It's all about divine timing. You're not behind. You're not ahead. You're absolutely in the right place at the right time. And I do feel that the reason that it took you a long time to get to this place of seeing the pattern so you don't do the same thing over again, you don't repeat the cycle, is because you're an analytical person. You're a person who is looking at it all really slowly, analyzing it, maybe reshuffling it in the mind. Maybe that's why you were sort of caught up in the mind for a little while. It tells me that you took your time because you are an analytic personality. You are somebody who really wanted to look at it and say, oh, that's where I went wrong. That's where I could have done better. It's not necessarily about making mistakes. It's about learning the patterns. And I feel like your reassessment phase is what is teaching you about the patterns you were in. So I feel like you start the week next week in a more grounded energy by looking to the past and realizing that you are far more grounded now that you're far more analytical now. It feels like this slow pace that you were taking toward figuring out what the cycles were that you were repeating was worth going slow for. Some things are worth building really slowly, but look, now you can move on. I really love that. Now you can move on. The 6 of Swords is here. No more chaos of the mind. I'm not going to worry about this. I'm now finally through the cycle. It feels like this is what is going to, the fact that you did move slow, the fact that you were holding back because you weren't ready, I think is what brings you to the end of the chapter here. And the 6 of Swords tells me what you do next is you're able to move forward here. Able to move forward and put some things in the rearview mirror, taking a chance here. We've got the 4 of Cups. I feel like maybe you were stuck or felt like in a comfort zone. I didn't really want to move, but I don't think that's anything you should feel bad about. I think that the 4 of Cups, the comfort zone always serves a purpose, right? And you shouldn't build a house there, but you can definitely pop a tent there and be comfortable in your emotions and your stability, emotional stability for a bit. There's nothing wrong with it. It's when you stay too long that it gets stagnant, Cancer. And look, this is Cancer energy. It feels like you were there for a while, feeling like life wasn't maybe moving forward quick enough for you, but I feel like it's because you had a lot of reshuffling or reassessment or something like that. And that's what took you so long. You're just being really grounded and slow. It's this time of the 8 of Pentacles, which is the self-reassessment stage. This is the self-mastery part. And so I think that you were in this Four of Cups for a reason here. We've got the Nine of Swords. Moving forward made you feel worrisome. You probably didn't feel ready, because the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles to me is I'm worried that I'm not enough, or I haven't built enough, or I don't know enough, or I don't know myself enough. Maybe I haven't completed all the mastery things that I thought I could. And I think that you are enough. I think that you're going to figure out when you begin on this new path here. It feels like this is a place where you start, like the Page of Pentacles is always the starting point, where you have the energy or the idea, or you want to materialize the things you've been thinking about. And we've got this little page here, this little sweet page with a bunny in hand. So I feel like things start to excel, like you begin to excel really quickly here. But first, I feel you look at the past to make sure that you are not bringing anything with you into the present that is just going to be considered heavy baggage. So we have the discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to, and you certainly can, Cancer. I've never met in my life a Cancer who couldn't. And so we have the Eight of Swords. I feel like you just had to get out of your head. That's all it was. You had to get out of your head and realize that you are enough, you have enough, you are enlightened, right? We have card number 9, that you've been through maybe some hermit energy, or now you have a little bit more spiritual wisdom. It feels like you are not starting over again. You're starting not over or not from scratch, but you're starting from wisdom. You now have way more wisdom and information than you had before. There's the Ace of Pentacles. And now with all the wisdom, all the lessons that you got from the past, you take little pieces of that with you along the way, so you don't repeat the mistakes or the things that maybe had you held back there. And the Ace of Pentacles tells me you begin to materialize it in the 3D. You begin to, this comes after a transformation or a transition. The Six of Swords is about the transition, and we do have an owl here indicating that there has been some type of death and that this is a new beginning. So again, look at that. We have the fox looking back. So I feel like you were in a place where you were kind of like, I don't want to repeat that again. Every relationship I get into is the same. It starts the same, it ends the same. And every job I get into it, I love it, the bloom's off the rose, then I leave. So I feel like I feel like it's really important that you look to your past, leave it there, but also remember that there's many good things that are coming in the future, as long as you don't repeat old cycles. Old cycles are going to bring you old results. We've got the Moon card. Very interesting. I feel like by the end of the week, you're feeling really energized, because the end of the week is, Friday, Saturday, it's the weekend. And so the end of the week next week, I feel like that you are starting to feel where you started to not trust the moon energy, getting into things deeply, or feeling like you're not really sure what could happen in the future. I feel with the Ace of Pentacles here giving you stability, that you begin to be comfortable with what is uncomfortable. And it can be uncomfortable in the moon energy, because it can be a really deep and dark place if you haven't done your shadow work. It can be a scary place if it's in the dark. Maybe you're not used to, some people aren't used to walking around without having, a lamp or a light or a torch. And I feel for you that this card number 27 is a 9. I feel for you that you've already been through that. It feels like you've already been through the hermit energy, and the hermit carries around the lamp that has very little light. The hermit has in the darkness for a reason, right? It indicates that you've been through the darkness, that you've already found your light, and that the moon energy no longer scares you. I think that things are not as they seem, because you're going off into the future to do new things. You're planting new pentacles, but you have the discipline to carry forward here. Justice is here, and I really love that, because it tells me that you are now in the place of karmic restoration. Something's about to come into balance for you, balance itself out. And I don't think that you are scared of the dark anymore, because I feel like you were raised in the dark. I feel like you've already come through the dark, and that you've found your place of light. I think you've already found that within yourself. We're going to go into the extended. If you are interested in being the extended, I'm going to put down 3 cards here, and that is going to be the advice going into the extended. But we are going to clarify this, right? So what is it that you were through? I feel like you were through the darkness, and now you're learning lessons from the past, which are allowing you to move forward. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why you were in the comfort zone for a while and what you're leaving in the past, what you see in the rearview mirror. Tell me what the advice is going forward here. We're going to talk about this in the extended as well. Healing, I like it. The Four of Swords, getting back into balance again, Libra energy, right? We do have the Four of Pentacles coming out in the reverse is Chef's Kiss. It's beautiful because now you're allowing yourself to be a little more vulnerable. Why? Because you're confident. Why? Because you have discipline. Why? Because you have balance. You're no longer afraid of the dark. One more card. And we have the Page of Cups. Good information, good news is coming up, some new things that are exciting. And we'll talk about what's coming up that is new in the future for you. We do have the King of Pentacles, and I was saying that something here is going to escalate quickly, and it feels like it is. It feels like you go from the Ace to the King really quickly, because now you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from wisdom. You know what you're doing. You're picking up where you left off, but you're planting a new pentacle, and it grows super quickly because you already are the master, right? The kings have mastered something, whether you're feminine or masculine. And this is interesting because what have I been saying in this whole reading? That you are the Taurus of the water signs. And I think that's really beautiful. And so I feel like you are, you've got the Midas touch. There isn't anything you can't get through because you know that if you go slow enough and look at all the details, and as long as you're kind and loving and giving to all the people around you, that's what the secret of having the Midas touch is for the king, right? Because the king knows that whatever the king is, the King of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn, because we're also in a general reading, but the King of Pentacles is a Taurus, right? And so that person is an overgiver, and so overgiving to the universe is wonderful. It comes back in beautiful ways. And so whatever you throw at the universe comes back. That's why this person has the Midas touch, because they're blessed, because they took what they had, they planted it, and then they gave it away, and it came back to them. So if you want to go into the extended and watch this extended with us, please do come there. We're just about ready to hit a threshold, and when we hit that threshold of membership, we're going to do a live. We're going to give away some free 5-minute readings. So if you're interested in coming there, you can do that. In the extended, there is it is, hang on, let me just start again. The membership area is where the extendeds are. All of the extendeds for all of my readings are there if you're interested in that. If you're not interested in the membership area, you can purchase this reading by itself. And so you will find all of that information in the pinned comment that is at the top of the comments under every video that I upload. I also have private reads going on. So if you're interested in a private read, please look at the Hypsee link. The Hypsee link, if you go to Hypsee, you will see all of my pricing there if you're interested in that. And I also have live readings going on. And there are a bunch of sales going on for the live readings, anywhere from 5 to 75% off your readings, and you'll get a discount just by merely booking in advance. So I'm going to go into the extended. If you are there, I will see you there. And if this is where we part ways, that's cool, because I will be back always to give you more readings. I'll be back because I'm always back. Love you guys. Bye-bye.